Welcome back to Living Word Daily. Subscribe and join us as we continue the story of Abraham, the father of faith. God had called Abram out of his homeland with a promise to make him into a great nation, to bless him, and to give the land of Canaan to his descendants. Abram obeyed, journeying with Sarai his wife and Lot his nephew. He walked by faith, but his journey was not without struggles. Lot and Abram grew wealthy with flocks and herds until the land could not sustain them together. Quarrels arose between their herdsmen. To keep peace, Abram said to Lot, "Choose the land you want, and I will take the other." Lot chose the fertile plains of the Jordan, near Sodom, while Abram remained in Canaan. After Lot departed, God spoke again, saying, "Lift up your eyes. All the land you see, I will give to you and your offspring forever." Abram built an altar there to the Lord. Later, kings from the east waged war against Sodom and Gomorrah, capturing Lot as a prisoner. When Abram heard, he gathered his trained men and pursued the kings by night, rescuing Lot and recovering all that was taken. On his return, Abram was blessed by Melchizedek, king of Salem and priest of God Most High, who brought bread and wine. Abram gave him a tenth of everything, acknowledging the hand of God in his victory. Still, Abram had no child. One night, God spoke to him in a vision, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield and your very great reward." Abram replied, "But Lord, what can you give me, since I remain childless?" God took him outside and said, "Look up at the stars. Count them if you can. So shall your descendants be." Abram believed the Lord, and it was counted to him as righteousness. Years passed, and Sarai grew impatient. She gave her maid Hagar to Abram, hoping to build a family through her. Hagar bore a son, Ishmael. But this was not the child of promise. When Abram was 99 years old, God appeared again and made a covenant with him. His name was changed from Abram to Abraham, meaning father of many nations, and Sarai's name became Sarah. God promised that Sarah herself would bear a son, and through him the covenant would be fulfilled. As a sign, every male in Abraham's household was to be circumcised. One day, 3 mysterious visitors came to Abraham's tent. He welcomed them with food and rest. As they ate, one declared, "By this time next year, Sarah will have a son." Sarah laughed from within the tent, for she was old and past childbearing age. But the Lord said, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" In time, the promise was fulfilled. Sarah conceived and gave birth to Isaac, the son of laughter. Abraham rejoiced, for God had turned their doubt into joy. Yet the greatest test of faith was still to come. God said to Abraham, "Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the region of Moriah. Sacrifice him there as a burnt offering." The command pierced Abraham's heart, yet he obeyed without delay. He set out with Isaac and wood for the offering. On the 3rd day, they reached the place. Isaac asked, "Father, the fire and wood are here, but where is the lamb?" Abraham replied, "God himself will provide the lamb." He built an altar and bound Isaac, placing him on the wood. As he raised the knife, the angel of the Lord called out, "Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know you fear God, because you have not withheld your son." Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught in the thicket. He sacrificed it in Isaac's place and named that place, "The Lord will provide." Afterward, God reaffirmed his promise, "Because you have obeyed me, I will bless you. Your descendants will be as countless as the stars and the sand on the seashore. Through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed." Abraham lived many more years, witnessing God's faithfulness. He buried Sarah in the cave of Machpelah and later arranged for Isaac to have a wife, Rebekah, ensuring the covenant line continued. In his old age, Abraham had more children, but Isaac remained the child of promise. Finally, Abraham died at the age of 175, full of years, and was buried beside Sarah. His life was a testimony of faith, obedience, and trust in God's unfailing word. Through Abraham's seed came the nation of Israel, and through that line came the Savior of the world, Jesus Christ, the ultimate fulfillment of God's promise that all nations would be blessed.